Hey, and good morning, everybody. Kevin here from New Zenler, and welcome to Office Hours Live. So if this is the first time you've been with us, I'm just going to check my sound as I'm on my own today. So just bear with me 1 second. Hey, and good morning, everybody. Kevin here from New Zenler. Oh, good. What I haven't got is got my camera on, so just bear with me. There we are. Hi, Kevin here from New Zenler. So welcome to Office Hours Live, our weekly show where we walk you through a number of things to do with New Zenler. And of course, we'll take your questions live. Now, if you're watching this, you're watching in the Facebook group. So welcome to New Zenler. You may have joined today or this week, or you may be a long-standing member. But however long you've been with New Zenler, it's great to see you here. This is your opportunity to connect with the team and to come into the chat whilst we're here live and ask you questions. Of course, if you're watching this on the replay, you can always come in afterwards, leave a comment below, and we'll come back and answer your questions. So normally I have the team with me, but the team are off this week. So you've got me on my own. So I'm going to cover as much as I can where possible and take you through the elements that we would normally go through. So please bear with me as I'm darting around the different screens and doing what we need to do. So the first element that we always look at, and I'm just pulling this up on my phone, so excuse me while I'm just checking, is we go through the changelog. Now, Rakesh would normally take us through the changelog, and the changelog is available to you publicly. It's all of the elements that we go through on a week-by-week basis. They're either fixes to issues within the system, or they're new feature releases, or sometimes it's just technical blabber that really makes not a lot of sense to any of us unless you're technically minded or you're part of the technical team. But we put it out there anyway, so you can just see what's been going on a week-on-week basis. So the changelog for this week, let's have a look. Rakesh has sent me the list and it is on the changelog, and I'll show you where you can find that in a moment. Now, let me just check on Facebook and see if anybody is with me live. Right, nobody's here live right now, but if you are live with me, do please leave your comments. Now, having had a look through the changelog, there's a lot of minor fixes to existing elements of New Zenler, and probably the most notable one was we released last week the new adding tag feature into the media library. It's a way of organizing your files on there, so you can do a search by tag, you can bulk add the tags, or you can add them individually. You can also change them and delete them if you need to. Now, this is really good because if you've got images, videos, or whatever, and you've attributed them to a course or a funnel or to a blog post, then you can tag what that's for. You can also do multiple tags. So if you're you want to find out your assets for a specific course and you can't remember what you called the video, the tag will help you find it. Now, it has been requested that we put in folders, and I think the decision has now finally been made that folders are not going to happen. Tags is the way forward. It's the way that a lot of systems operate now. So getting involved in the world of tagging is a really good and sensible way to make sure everything online that you do is aligned. So tagging is here to stay. So there's been some fixes on there, a couple of other really minor updates, but more notable is the fact that the technical team are constantly looking at stabilizing the platform. Now, this is an ongoing task. As we know, online things can go wrong. So we need to constantly monitor the resources we're using, the way it's being used, the elements that we have and the code that we have for our sites to make sure that it's working appropriately. And the technical team do that on a week-by-week basis. So on top of feature releases, feature updates and feature fixes, we also have that going on as well. So it's not much from the changelog this week. I am told that next week there's going to be a reasonably big announcement. So if you're around for next week at 5 p.m. GMT, then I think that will be another good episode of Office Hours to watch. So that's the changelog. The next part that we always go into is Let me just get it up on my screen. Let's see if anybody's here with me. The next part we go into is we always go in and show you the educational resources that we have for you. Now, this is really important because here at Zenler, we take it really seriously that you're learning the system at a pace that's okay for you, that you've got everything you need to hand that's free of charge, because we build all of the educational resources for you for free. And you've got it all available. So when you want to do something in your Zenler site, you have complete access to it. So it's really important that we show you where those elements are. And we're constantly looking at updating. We're constantly bringing out new challenges. We're constantly bringing out things that will help you be more successful with your learning management system and Zenler as a complete online system. Now, there have been a couple of people in recently that have said, wow, there's so much here going on. It's a reasonably complex system, as in there's a lot of moving parts to it if you want to use every part of Zenler, which of course you don't have to. We often talk about building a foundation and working your way up with your Zenler experience, rather than going hell for leather and doing everything in one day, which you can do, of course, if you're more experienced and used to these types of platforms. But generally speaking, you need to get the basics done first, familiarize yourself with what the behind the scenes of the platform looks like, where you need to start, and then start delving into the elements that you're looking to build out first. Now, most people come to Zenler because they want a learning management system at its core, and the fundamentals of Zenler is an LMS, and a learning management system. However, it's grown to accommodate more elements of marketing and websites. So it is now an all-in-one platform, but it is at its heart a learning management system. So let me show you some of the resources that we have. And we have three main areas. And this is where it starts to get very interesting. So we'll look at the first part, which is tutorials.newzenler.com. Now, this is our main area for our training. Now, you can come over here. You need to sign up to it to get access to any of these things. But of course, it's free. You don't get charged for coming over here. This is almost like your learning zone, if you like. So everything that we do regards to how to use the platform, all of the tutorials around any of the features of the platform, you will find in here. So we start off along the top. So we've now got a support button there. So if you click on the support button, it will take you over to how you can get support, technical support for your Zenler sites. We've got have your say. Now, these are forms that we've created. So if you've been on a workshop, or you're looking for, we pride ourselves in a lot of the educational support that we do. So we'd really like your feedback on that. So if you've got a couple of minutes to spare, just click on one of those, fill it out. If any of them apply to you, then fill it out and give us some feedback so we can continue to learn, evolve, and give you what you want within your Zenler experience. The next tab along is resources. So we've found over time that people are struggling to find some of the things that we talk about. So they're in multiple places, and it's just an easier way for you to find what you're looking for. So as I said before, the Zenler Changelog is there. So if you want to look at all of the updates and when they were released and what's been going on, that's updated pretty much every week. So go there, have a look. It will take you to directly to the document. We've got Zenler status. So like a lot of software platforms, it will tell you of the current performance of Zenler and if there are any technical issues affecting your site. So you can always go over there and have a look. We've got Facebook events. So if you're looking at some of the live events that we're running, you can go over there. It's a direct link into Facebook. So if you're logged in, it will take you to the events page, and it will show you all of the events that have been passed and that are coming up, which is really quite good. Facebook announcements, again, within the Facebook platform, it's we often mark things as announcements because we deem them to be important for you, our community. So that will take you directly to that section. So it's a really useful little drop down here just to go through what's going on. And we've got here again, support, report a bug or a technical issue. We've got competitors comparison. So if you're looking to get involved in Zenler, or if you're doing some form of partner marketing and you want to see where we stack up with our features against the features of one of the other learning management systems out there that we've looked at, then you can see the comparison chart there. Again, with the paid plan comparison within Zenler itself, there are 3 levels you can get involved in: the free, the pro, and the premium. What does that mean? What does it look like? And what are the costs involved? Changelog I've mentioned, Zenler States I've mentioned, PR and media are just resources we've created that you can go off and use to market new Zenler as a partner. Ask Zenler is just a hashtag for Ask Zenler, things that people have asked for within the Facebook group, events, announcements, and of course new feature requests. So if there's something in the platform that you think, actually it's missing from this platform, I'd like this, I want something to happen, to change, something that we're missing, then by all means put a feature request in. We'll always look at it, we'll always discuss it and see whether it's a viable option. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, doesn't mean that it's going to happen in the way that you think it will look like, and it doesn't mean that it's a guarantee that we're going to actually implement it at all, because we have to work on a majority need. We've got a very strong learning management system right now. It's got a lot of exceptionally good features in it. We're not just going to keep on feature stacking it. It's just not the way that Zenler is going to develop. We want to create good features that are used, that our members require where possible, and that all work at a high level. So we're not just going to keep on putting features in, because everybody will want everything and it's just not possible. So have a look at the resources. As you come down this page, you'll see that we've got 4 zones. So we've got Learn Zenler, Zenler Marketing, Zenler Extras, and Zenler Boot Camps. As you, I'll come back and click into those in a minute so you can see what's involved. We've added in latest new feature releases. So as I mentioned earlier, the latest one we had was Create Your Videos media library with tags. So it's not just videos, you can do it with other media as well. So you can now tag stuff in there. You could just click play, that streams through from YouTube. We've got, and these are the most latest updates that we've had. So that just makes it easier for you to find more of the mini tutorials that are done on the specific feature releases that we have. Challenges for 2022. We've got the Launch Your First Course Challenge starting on the 3rd of January 2022. So do look out for that. And then we're running the 5-day blogging challenge live in February 2022. Both of the pages are up there now, so you can register your interest. And if you want to come along and join me live on those, I run both of those. So you'll be very welcome to join me live to get either your first course up and out and done. If you're an experienced course creator, probably not for you. This is for those of you that haven't yet done a course, maybe struggling a little bit, putting all of the bits and pieces together, not really sure how to get it out onto new Zenler and to price it properly. Then the Launch Your First Course Challenge is for you. With the 5-day blogging challenge, it revolves around promoting a specific course, and it can be replicated as a process once you've done the 5 days. So both of them have run before. They're very successful, and I do run them live. There is a evergreen version if you just want to go through the videos, but these are live, so you can ask me questions, you can come in and give feedback, and we can support each other as a community going through those. So look out for those in the new year. They're already on the events page as well. So latest live events. So we've got office hours here, which you can go through to. These are live workshops. These are live builds. And this is a day with Zenler. So if any of those interest you, then just click through and you can say that you're going. Here's the feature lister matrix we talked about. So if you need those, they're there. And these are some of the social channels. But let's go through just quickly some of these elements up the top here. Now, when you first come into new Zenler, then these 3, the marketing, the extras, and the boot camps, are probably not going to be your priority. Your priority is you're into a new platform. You want to understand how can you start to get this working for you, because when you're on the Pro and Premium, there is a cost to your business. You do invest to get the features. So therefore, you're going to want to get this out and working for your business so you can start generating a return of revenue for using this particular platform. So we go into Learn Zenler and we click on Enter this zone. Now, we always say, and you get this email to you when you join New Zenler, whether you're on the free, premium or pro plans, you want to start with a quick start guide. So you would just enter that course and go into it. Now, this is really useful because it takes, but depending on your attention span and how competent you are using software online, it takes between 2 and 4 hours, and it will set up all of those one-time things that if you don't do it, you always are going back to and going, oh, I need to change this font, I need to add this color throughout the site, I need to do this, I need to set a payment thing up. It goes through all of those first in a very concise manner. So goes through that, and then that stuff doesn't have to be done again. Once it's done, it's finished, and the core of your site is set up. So it's really worth going through that and aligning that with the basic setup checklist, just ticking that off as you go through, will really help you have a positive experience with New Zenler. Then, of course, we have the complete guide to Zenler. So when we click onto the complete guide to Zenler, this comes up with everything within the Zenler platform. Now, as you can see, it's a monster of a course. I can't even tell you how many modules and lessons there are. There are just loads of them. You don't need to work through this in order. Working through it in order is probably a little bit insane because you might not get to the bit that you're looking for when you want it. So we do have the Zenler video search here. So if you click in there, search for something like funnels, blog, sales page, etc., etc. It will come up with all searching for those particular words, any of the tutorials we've got in here, and it will show you where you can find them and what ones you need to go through, rather than just trying to randomly pick it and go through that massive, great big long list. Now, the feedback has always been that it's a very comprehensive training. It is, I'm sure, being updated regularly to make sure that the new feature releases are added into this, and therefore that keeps it completely current and up to date. So do check that out. So that's tutorials.newzenler.com. Really important thing for you to go off and look at. Now, we're currently in Facebook. So this is where you're watching us live. And in Facebook, there's a couple of things that you need to remember. Facebook, we've got 7.3 thousand members in this particular group, and it's a busy group. We've got lots of people supporting each other, helping each other, and they're an amazing community of New Zenler users. There are a couple of areas here that you need to really take note of, though. The first one is the featured one. It's not called announcements anymore. It's now called featured. So if there's a post that we deem is important for you, we'll mark it as featured. Click on there and you will see things like the new feature releases, etc. Maybe some of the live streams that we do, anything coming up that's important. Have a look in there. But the next most important one is the events. So you move over to more, you go to events, and you will see all of the upcoming events. So we've got office hours live. That's happening now. Yay, we really are live. So that's happening now. We've got a day with Zenler, sessions 1 and 2. So if you're into a marathon session with David, then that may well be the case for you for Friday. It's done, normally it's done on the last Friday of the month. It's done earlier because obviously we're coming into the holiday season. So it works, probably be more appropriate to have it this Friday. If you click on see more, you'll see what else is coming up. So Zen Chat Live is on Monday, as per our schedule. Office Hours Live next Wednesday. Yes, that is still running, and it's still running in between Christmas and New Year. Heading on to more, the Launch Your First Course Challenge and the Blogging Challenge in for the new year. So 7th of February is the 5-day blogging challenge. So all you need to do on those is just click that you're going. It will just give you a reminder. With the Launch Your First Course Challenge and the Blogging Challenge, you need to follow the link and actually register for that, and then you'll be reminded when that goes live, because all of the training is done within the New Zenler system, and we do it on Zoom as a live class, so it doesn't get streamed into Facebook. So Facebook, really useful resource for you. And the last one we've got is YouTube. So youtube.com/c/Zenler. So if we go into here right now, you'll see that we've got a number of different playlists. We've got new feature releases there. So there was one added 6 days ago, different bits and pieces, and you can go through and look at those. We've got the Ask Zenlers and the Zenler how-tos, so specific requests for how do I do this? Will the system allow me to do that? And where possible, and as appropriate, it should be all done within the Zenler system without having to recode anything. That doesn't mean not putting in HTML code, as in an embed code, but without having to mess about with behind the scenes stuff, because that would invalidate your support with us. We've then got Zenler all-in-one course, marketing course creation. So if you're interested in that, go and have a look at that. Pro user interviews are here, really interesting. There's some more to be added into that. So if you want to see how some of these members are using it, new Zenler for their business, then do go look and see what they're up to, because they've got very different businesses and they're very interesting the way they've all used the same platform with the same features to create things that are very different but working effectively for their business. Day with Zenler, live builds with Zenler, there's a lot there. More workshops, and then replays of office hours. So if you look at those, if you miss office hours in Facebook, you're a bit more of a YouTuber. Why you're watching this clearly, so you must have some interest, I would imagine, in Facebook. We also put the replays of office hours into YouTube as well. Now, if you can't find what you're looking for here and you just want to look at the most current ones, if you click on videos, this will show you the videos that were added and when they were added. So one day ago, 6 days ago, and it will tell you what's going on there. So that might be an easier way to do that. We've also got our playlists. So if you want to look at some of the playlists that we've got, it will show you how many videos in there. It just adds another element of a filter into it for you. Then do have a look there. I believe some of that probably needs updating. Some of it looks a little bit old, but we can go through and get rid of that. We don't have a community. We don't have any more channels. But yeah, so just look out for the way that you want to use YouTube. Of course, hit subscribe, hit the notify bell, and what that will do is that will alert you to any new videos that are coming into the YouTube channel. Now, there are videos that go there that don't go elsewhere because they're not official training videos. So do be aware that they may not be on Facebook, they may not be on the tutorial site, but they may only be on the YouTube channel. Some of the trainings that are done on Facebook, David does some of the live builds and stuff, may not go onto the YouTube channel, so they may only be in Facebook. They may go into the tutorial site if appropriate as a learning mechanism for you to use new Zenler more effectively. So let me come over to Facebook right now. Johnny's here. Hi, Johnny. Is video autoplay coming soon? Great question. Let me just refresh my page in case I've missed anybody else. Great question. As far as I'm aware, it's not on the cards to do so. Remember, you can, if you want autoplay on your videos, you can embed from elsewhere. And I tend to do this on some of my videos that I put into my courses. If I want them on autoplay, I'll embed it, I'll host them elsewhere. Remember, with new Zenler, you get the hosting included. So we host via Vimeo. It's uploaded, it's put in, and therefore it is the way that it is right now. We've talked as a team about adding different skins in on the videos and on the course players. They're all in development at the moment, so they will be out at some point. I don't have a specific date for that, but it is hopefully going to be happening. Will definitely be in the new year now, that's for sure. So, but it is something we've not forgotten about. Embedding videos is a different matter. So if you want to embed so it pulls in from elsewhere, then that is an option for you. That's if you've got your own type of hosting, and therefore you can create the settings that you want. And I do that because I want different look to some of the videos that I have, and I can do that on the system that I use. So video autoplay is not being released particularly soon. So if you've got any more questions, do put them in. Hopefully you've found that walkthrough quite useful. I'm going to start just as we're coming up to the half an hour, and office hours is only on for half an hour. I'm going to start going back through some of the things that I need to remind you of what is coming up. And this is quite important because we are coming into the holiday season for those that celebrate Christmas and New Year, the times that most of us do here in the UK. So 25th of December is obviously Christmas, 31st of December, New Year, and they're times where people are generally not available to do things. So it does mean our schedule changes very slightly. However, I also appreciate that not everybody celebrates those holidays. So hence why office hours will be running through. Fortunately, this year it didn't fall on any of those days, so we can just continue with office hours as normal. We did have to change ZenChat because it did fall within the dark times that it wasn't appropriate. I don't think anyone wanted to come in after New Year party to come onto ZenChat, so we have changed those slightly. So look out for those. Now, what do we have coming up? Now, what's quite interesting about this is people do forget what we have available as a resource for you, the new Zenler users. So let's start off with Alice. Alice is a reasonably new team member here on New Zenler, on the educational team. However, she's going great guns at the moment. And Alice has two main things going on right now. And they revolve around doing a live webinar where she will talk to people that register on a weekly basis. She runs it every single week, where she'll walk people through what new Zenler is as a platform. So these are people that haven't signed up. Maybe one of the partners has encouraged them to come along. Maybe they've found us somewhere else. So she'll walk through, what is new Zenler? How's it come about? What are some of the features and what's the opportunity for you to get involved in it? And she does that live, and it's phenomenal. If it's something that you want to bring someone along to that you're trying to introduce to our platform, then that's a great way to introduce them. The second thing she does is she does onboarding sessions with pro and premium users only. So free users, sorry, you don't get this. But if you're a pro or premium user, Alice will go through an onboarding session with you. Now, the idea of this is to get you familiar with the behind the scenes elements of new Zenler. So it's like, hey, this is your dashboard. This is how you log in. Are you logging in okay? Do you know these are the features available to you at your level of membership? And you can ask questions around a little bit more of the usage of new Zenler as a system, as in, look, I've got this system. I've never been able to get this to work, or can I do this? Can I do that? That type of feedback. Now, she's running those in much smaller groups, so 2 or 3 people max at a time, and you have to pre-book for it. If you book and you don't show up, then you'll have to get into the waiting list to come back again, because they are becoming more and more popular. So the time behind this doesn't matter. So if you've been a pro user for 2 years, you've been paying, but you've absolutely not looked at the system at all, it scares you, you've put it on the back burner, you don't really want to lose your evergreen membership on it, your locked in membership rate. So you keep on paying, but you've not actually used the system because you're a little bit confused by it, then Alice is there to help and support you to get you through that. So the onboarding sessions are really, really useful. David's got a day with Zenler coming up. So that's on Friday. I believe his afternoon schedule is filled, and he's got some things going on in the morning as well. Do look in the events page for that, so you can see when he's going to be live in the Facebook group to be running that this Friday. Again, it's not on the last Friday of the month because that falls within Christmas week. So that's not going to happen. It's been pulled forward to this particular Friday coming, which I believe is the 17th, so in 2 days time. You don't need to register, you don't need to say that you're going or anything like that, just see it live in the group. If you're watching this in the Facebook group, you've got access to be able to watch that live. He'll cover different things. I believe if you go to the event, you'll see an agenda there that he's put together and who's going to be presenting what elements of that particular agenda. Going into New Year, you'll see me on more of those. I'll be taking a slot within a day with Zenler on a regular basis, going through different elements of professional marketing, as I am a professional marketer. So that's what I do. It's what I do for a lot of clients as well. So I'll be covering some elements of marketing effectively and up to date and currently your Zenler courses and your sites. So, and during the course of the year, I'll put together a little program as to what I'm going to be covering each day with Zenler on that. So you're very welcome to join in with that. As far as I'm concerned with New Zenler, I've got Zen Chat happening Monday, so 4 p.m. Monday. If you want to come and meet other New Zenler users, come and talk a little bit about what you're doing, what courses you've got going on, what lead magnets, what support you need, if you need accountability partners, if you just want to chat with someone else in your same industry that's in New Zenler and talk about some of the things going on there with some ideas, then come along. We've had 5 of these now and they're really proving quite popular. We've got some real good regular members turning up, which is fantastic. They're now becoming very much a part of how it's progressing as a online networking environment. It is being run for the members. I want to get the members involved, which I'm doing currently, although I'm figureheading it. Members are getting involved, running breakout rooms and doing all sorts of things. So if you want to come along and just participate, that's fantastic. If you want to come along, participate and get a bit more involved, maybe run a breakout room or something like that, then do reach out to me and I'll happily help you do that. So that's Zen Chat, that's happening. Apart from that, I have nothing else coming up in the next week. So I'm looking forward to supporting you all more. Let's see if we've got any more comments coming. I don't think we have actually. You've been really quite kind to me today. So not lots of questions coming in. But if you do have questions, then do please put them in the chat. We will always come back afterwards and answer your questions. That's not a problem. Remember, if you're on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know what country you're watching from. We do have a global audience here at New Zenler, and that means every week we alternate the times. So this week we're at 10 a.m. GMT. Next week we're at 5 p.m. GMT. And we do that because we want to capture people live where we possibly can. So do look out and remember the different time zones on that. All of it's in the events page so you can see what time for what week. So thank you very much for coming along and watching me and supporting me doing my solo office hours live. It's been an absolute blast. I will see you, if not before, in Zen Chat on Monday. If not, I will see you at 5 p.m. next week on Office Hours Live. Look forward to it. And I will see you then. Thanks, everyone, and have a fantastic week.